Welcome everyone to another episode of Solo Queue Cast. I'm sure most of you know by now, but if you don't, I like to do introductions. My name is Desifresh. We're gonna be watching Nightblue3. I did get this off of one of his replays, and It also features a couple of people that you may know of. We have Cursed Piglet. He's not gonna be on AD carry. He's actually been put into that mid lane. He's gonna be playing. He's gonna be on the Zed. I'll get to the other people that you may know of as I do some introductions in that top lane. And it looks as though we're going to be seeing Neon Surge on Gnar. In the jungle, it's going to be Nightblue3 on Rengar. In the mid lane, it's going to be Cursed Piglet on the Zed. And the bottom lane is going to be made up of Ham Sandwiches and X-President on Vayne and Leona. Let me actually get this game started. On the other hand, then on the side of Red Team in the top lane, it's going to be Inverted Composer on Yorick. That's not a top laner you see all too often. You only have like about 2 to 3 Yorick players all throughout League. Then in the jungle it's going to be Mr. Steal Your Buffs playing Shaco. Hopefully we see some buff steals coming out from him. In the mid lane we're going to be seeing a Zingy on the Vel'Koz. And finally Curse Phoenix and Sisyphen. Sifen. I'm going to call him Sifen. It's going to be on Janna and Corki. Hopefully we get a really cool game coming out from these guys. Right now it looks like Mr. Studio Buffs and Nightblue, they're going to be starting at their respective red buffs. None of the crazy shenanigans seem to be coming out. You do see Yorick. He's hanging around in that lane bush near the second tier tower. Possibly to try and avoid giving away too much information. It could also be used to try and prevent a lane swap from coming out. Nightblue actually starting up on the Krugs just to get the stun buff. It looks as though Corki and Janna, they're making their way into that enemy jungle, trying to disrupt it from actually happening for 2 reasons actually. One is to make sure that the Vayne and Leona don't do that, so they don't hit level 2 faster than they do. And it's at that, or just to disrupt Nightblue's jungle. There's not a lot of kill pressure with that Rengar only having his Q at level 1. Leona sure did actually have the Zenith Blade, but they should have been able to get away with the Howling Gale of Leona, and I'm sure Corki would have leveled up the Valkyrie, but he actually he actually had Phosphorus Bomb, so had she gone in, I don't think too much would have happened, but at most a flash would have been blown by the Corki. So Nightblue's going for a full clear of his jungle. You're not going to really expect him to gank all too often on that Rengar, most likely after level 6. Corki, he's just taken Krugs, his buff, and now he's headed over to that blue buff. And we should be seeing an early gank coming out from him. Unfortunately for him, the bottom lane is pushing, so that's not going to be a gank to go towards. And Vel'Koz in that mid lane is pushing in Curse Piglet. Not Curse, I can just call him Piglet. I don't have to constantly say Curse. Yep. Looks like Mr. Steal Your Buffs was looking to steal that buff. Unfortunately, he's not going to be finding anything. Just putting out some vision coverage in Nightblue's jungle. He's actually going to try and take Razorbeaks, but that's not going to be available for him either. In that top lane, looks like Neon Surge is having a bit of trouble against that York, using the hop to get away. The ghoul was used. Now Mr. Steel buffs, putting some aggression onto Piglet, does use the Shiv for a little bit of extra damage as he used Living Shadow to jump away. That's a lot of pressure going around on every single lane of this blue team. Nightblue, he's gonna have to hit level 6 he's gonna have to hit 6 as soon as possible if he wants to help these lanes. That Corki Janna lane is just so aggressive against the Vayne. So much poke in that lane. If a Howling Gale finds its way onto that Vayne, or even the Leona, Foster's Farm will come out, and that's going to be so much damage. Leona, feign aggressive, trying to feign a Nightblue gank, but Nightblue, he was spotted in that top lane, so they know she was bluffing. Another Foster's Bomb finding the way onto him. Sandwiches, he needs to be careful. He is getting fairly low in that lane, and Leona has to wait until she can get the Targon stacks to heal up the Vayne. No more health pots for her. Right now, Nightblue3 has pinged towards that bottom lane. He's going to be headed towards it. There is a ward to spot him out. They're just going to back away after this. And looks like Nightblue's gone for the Ranger's Trailblazer. He knows that Rengar doesn't have all too much sustain apart from the Empowered Roar. Go for the Trailblazer. Just is going to help him in terms of clear speed and sustainability. We're going to be seeing Chilling Smite coming out from Shaco. That's going to just help facilitate the ganks facilitate the already powerful ganks that are coming out from him. Yorick still hasn't gone back just yet. He does have that flask to keep himself sustained in that lane. Gnar being pushed out. Neon Surge picked up a second Doran's Blade and a couple of pots and a ward for himself. No lanes have gone back just yet. I can't really say I've seen the Yorick lane all too often, so I'm not sure how it's going to be faring up against the Gnar, but it seems to be doing very well against him. He's going even farm right now. Now Neon Surge, got out Mr. Steal Your Buffs. There comes the Juke. He was going to be pinged out, and he should be able to get away. Yorick now going back. Let's see what he does pick up. Most likely a Tear of the Goddess just to keep his mana sustained. It's actually going to be a pickaxe. So he's just going to be looking for a lot of extra damage in that lane. He does buy a couple of pots, and with the flask being reset, he shouldn't be running out of mana all too soon. So a pickaxe and a longsword, possibly a really early Last Whisper. The longsword, the pickaxe could be built into a Maramana. But here comes Neon Surge. He's going to fall to a gank from Mr. Steal Buffs. He's going to be taking that kill in that lane. Deathmark in the mid lane onto a Zingy. The shurikens are going to hit. The pop is not going to be enough. A flash and auto attack from Piglet. He's going to use the shadows to get away, and that's a kill in that mid lane. One kill in the top and mid lane right now. Mr. Steal Buffs, he's showing himself, but not too much. Those shurikens really hurt. He has the cutlass and he has a longsword. That's something that to be expected. He's also out farming a Zingy by about 10 to 13. And that Leona does come out with the roam. Shaco just going to use the Deceived jump away. But there's a lot of vision coverage around red team's jungle right now. Nightblue is looking to take that blue buff away. Unfortunately, he's going to have to wait a little bit longer than anticipated. Leona trying to get the stun onto Janna. Unfortunately, she doesn't exactly get it. Nightblue, he will be hitting 6 very soon. He's looking for something. He's actually going to be going around the tower looking for the gank. He is at half health though. Phoenix does get stunned up. Unfortunately, that's the flash from Nightblue3. He has the flash away. That was so much damage already taken from being underneath that tower, and he's going to fall. Here comes the teleport from the Gnar. Zenith Blade is going to be locking down onto Sven. There's the Gnar to knock Sven. No stun is going to be onto him. Condemn will lock him down. Unfortunately, the heal is going to keep him alive long enough for Vel'Koz with the Roma. Zingy does take the first kill onto the Vayne. Now the damage is onto ex-president. They're trying to get the kill. There's the knock from Vel'Koz. That's going to be the flash from Leona, and she's going to be able to survive that fight. York's now in the top lane alone with Gnar now going back. He will be able to put some damage. Piglet coming out there with the roam, trying to prevent as much damage as possible, knowing that Vel'Koz isn't in that lane to push it out. He had one of two options. He could have either gone to that top lane and prevent that tower from going down, or he could have left the safe mid lane and trying to take that tower down. It would have been a 1-for-1 in terms of towers. Instead, he's just going to keep the towers up for as long as possible. Deathmark is available, but I don't think you want to go on to Inverted Composer. That's a lot of damage he wants to. No, he's actually going to go in onto it. There goes the Shuriken. Inverted Composer is trying to live. He does have his ultimate up, so he could fight Piglet. That's a lot of damage. Piglet's getting very low. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, Inverted Composer will not be able to get that kill. So far, not a lot of kills have been traded. Just one on the support, mid laner, and jungler in that red team, and one on the AD carry and the mid laner. It looks as though with the pressure of Janna and Vel'Koz, Mr. Steal Your Buffs will be able to steal your buffs. Nightblue3 trying to go in onto a Zingy Monsoon used by Janna. There goes Mr. Steal Your Buffs with the deceive over that wall, but he's going to be caught out. The ultimate is going to be used, but unfortunately he still got falls to ex-president. Gnar is trying to get up a kill onto the Vel'Koz, and it is going to be there. There's the jump from Nightblue3 for a kill onto the Janna. That's 3 kills already, and now with 3 members in that mid lane, they're going to try and push it down as fast as possible. York does not have his teleport up. It's actually going to be up very, very soon. There it is. We're going to see if he does end up teleporting it. Piglet is backing off right now. He doesn't want to give a kill over Nightblue3 and ex-president, though. They should be sufficient enough to take that tower down. First one goes over to blue team. That's going to give him a nice spike in gold. Let's see what they can do in the other lanes. Cutlass both onto Piglet and ham sandwiches. They're going to be looking very, very strong. She's going to be trying to get that Blade of the Rune King fairly quickly. Corki already has 2 items of that Trinity Force just working on the Zeal. And he's severely out farming ham sandwiches. Ham sandwiches with only 50 compared to Phoenix's 90. That is just not something you want to see. Granted, that the Vayne into the Corki is not a great matchup. It's just so much pressure that she has to deal with, and especially with someone like Leona, who can't really deal with that pressure. She can only just go in and not really keep ham sandwiches sustained. He's doing fairly well for himself. Here comes a Zingy and Sven to try and put a lot. I'm just gonna call him Janna. Zingy and Janna trying to put a lot of damage onto ham sandwiches. That's gonna force him away. Ex-president trying his best to keep that tower alive. It should be there though. Here comes Mr. Stereo Buffs looking for the tower dive. They're gonna try and push it out as far as possible. Double Buffs is on to ex-president right now. Nightblue3 is making his way to that position. There goes Mr. Stereo Buffs. The Cineration Gray used by the Vel'Koz for the slow, but now they're trying to get a kill onto Mr. Stereo Buffs. He's going to be using his ultimate to block the auto attack, but now Mr. Nightblue3, it looks as though he has just gone into his death. Here comes the tower dive. Vel'Koz is thinking, tanking up the tower for as long as possible. Ex-president trying to lock him down, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes Piglet using the death mark on to the Janna. He's going to get that kill. Now his aggression's on to Phoenix. There's no tower to for Piglet to back him up, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be sufficient enough for a double kill. Now ex-president is setting his sights on to a Zingy. Zenith Blade is not going to be having another 2 seconds. He could go for it right now. Mobility boots are going to just gap the distance, and he's going to allow. No, he's not. The auto attack from ex-president is going to give a kill over to him, and he really just trying to hold off as long as possible. We did not expect the stun to do that much damage. Pings are going down from the red team towards that dragon. Neon Surge now being caught out by Mr. Steel Pulse. The Chilling Smite is going to be used. Neon Surge trying to get away. Rengar jumping in. Nightblue3 helping his teammate. He does get the lockdown, and Nightblue3 gets another kill for himself. He does have the Warrior Enchantment for that Trailblazer. With the Longsword, I'm going to be expecting, we'll have to see if he wants to go for either Yomu's or Ghostblade. It's going to be a Yomu's or Blade of the Ruined King. It's going to be one of those 2 items. It just depends on what he decides to build that Longsword into. Gnar with the Sunfire Cape component, he's going to be pretty tanky. York, though, he is getting fairly strong as well. Piglet finishing up that Yomu's Ghostblade, just holding off on Blade King for a little bit longer. He just wants a little bit more damage on his auto attacks. Looks like red team, they are starting up on that dragon. It is getting down to half health, and I don't think blue team will be able to stop it. Red team taking the first dragon of the game. The first dragon for themselves. Now it looks as though Nar is going to be in a pretty sticky situation. He's going to have to jump away from the wall. Here comes Shaco with the Deceive. The hop is going to be there by the Valkyrie from Phoenix as well. Neon Surge falls down. There's a Disintegration Ray from Vel'Koz, securing a double kill for the Vel'Koz. 3 members in that mid lane. They're going to be able to push that down. Nightblue3 going to be more preoccupied with that red buff instead. Ham Sandwiches trying to push out that bottom lane to get a tower to try and even it up. It is 1-for-1 right now. Nightblue3, after taking that red buff, has made his way there. A Zingy trying to just auto attack that tower down. It will be successful. Nightblue3 is not going to be able to defend that tower, but let's see if he actually does manage to pick up a kill. He does not. The ignite will be enough. It is enough, and Zingy falls to Nightblue3, falls to Neon Surge, but he gets a kill on to Nightblue. Right now, Inverted Composer with the transference of Nara into that mid lane. He's going to try and take that top lane tower. Shaco hanging around in the bush, trying to spot out a roam from someone. Inverted Composer has to get that tower down quickly. Boxes around that bush. Unfortunately, this is the 3-man gank. Then Mr. Studio Buffs is going to make it a 2v3. And the Shaco clone making a somewhat 2.5v3. Cursed Piglet has the death mark onto Inverted Composer. The pop is not going to be enough. Solar Flare is going to stun Mr. Studio Buffs. Unfortunately for him, he is not going to get away because you can't outrun a building headed to you. You can try to dodge it, but you can't outrun it. There comes a flash from the Janna, but it's not going to be enough because the Zenith Blade is going to lock her down. They're trying to get the kill. Howlin' Gale going to use a flash from Mr. President as well to save his own life. Vayne still in that bottom lane, hasn't really taken down that tower. The roam is coming out from Phoenix, Zingy, and Janna to that bottom side. Man, she's going to be too scared to actually take that down. Zingy on the Vel'Koz. His first time is actually going to be a Leandrius, and with the amount of movement inhibitors, inhibitors, I guess inhibitors is the right word. With the amount of movement inhibitors in his kit, the Leandrius is actually a really great buy, especially when you consider the amount of health that is going to be coming out from Gnar and Leona. He's just going to be melting through them. Shaco going for a really aggressive build, not even getting an enchantment for his Chilling Smite, going for a Hydra immediately. Inverted Composer on the Yorick, going for the Manamune. He's actually one of the only 2 champions that will always get it. The other being the Jace. Can't really think of another one. And Corki finishing that Triforce has a nice power spike, but he actually had it a little while ago. Right now, red team, they're looking around that bottom lane, looking for Cursed Piglet has the death mark onto Phoenix. Unfortunately, he's so low, and the pop is not going to be enough to do enough damage to put him out of the fight. Monsoon going to be used by Janna to knock ex-president away. Here comes the Disintegration Ray to get a kill onto Nightblue3. Ham Sandwich is going really ham. Unfortunately, he is not ham enough, and that's going to result in a double kill for that Corki. A kill onto a Zingy. And the rest of the team pushing down that bottom lane with only Neon Surge on Gnar to defend it. Unfortunately, he can't be in 2 places at once like Shaco. And that top lane is going to suffer as a result of it. Right now, red team, they're just going to be ignoring that bottom lane. They don't want to push it in against that Gnar just yet. That top lane tower, though, will fall, getting the tower lead, making the tower lead 4-for-1 in favor of red team. There comes a flash from Neon Surge onto Cursed Phoenix. Unfortunately, he was backing in a very precarious spot that happened to be warded by the blue team. The flash and Gnar from Gnar, stopping the recall and a kill for himself. That doesn't matter though. He'll be going back, getting a BF sword, and a Vampiric Scepter, so going for most likely in Bloodthirster. It should keep him fairly healthy in the fights when you consider the amount of uh, when you consider the pressure he's going to be experiencing from the Leona, from the Zed, and the Rengar and the Gnar. I guess you can also consider the Gnar. It's just so much dive directed at him. We're most likely going to be seeing either the Gnar or the Leona stick to that vein, providing ham sandwiches some sort of peel. But then again, the only one they have to watch out for is Mr. Seobuffs on Shaco. Nightblue does get the bullet strike onto Sven. The Zenith Blade is going to come out. Unfortunately, he is going to die. Now Neon Surge is on the defense. The Ghoul is going to be coming out from York, resulting in a double kill. Ham Sandwiches, he is stuck in place. And Cursed Phoenix is going to be getting his own kill. Now in that top line, Mr. Steel Buffs was dueling out Piglet, but you cannot duel out that Zed being with only a Hydra. The Deathmark is going to pop, giving him a kill. Now ex-president, he is using that Zenith Blade, knowing he can't get away, giving a Phoenix an unofficial double kill. Now Piglet, oh, that is unfortunate. It looks as though Ham Sandwiches, he has disconnected. Now Neon Surge, he's trying to get away. There is the slow from Janna. Phoenix has the Monsoon used to keep him safe. We did hear the Yomus being popped by Nightblue. We have Inverted Composer in that top lane. Bow Strike is going to miss. He has the ultimate on him. This is going to be a 2v3 right now. Nightblue has taken a lot of damage. He will not be able to continue the fight. But here comes the Gnar, knocking Inverted Composer into the base. Giving Piglet a kill. Now ex-president, he has to escape from the ghost of Inverted Composer. But it should be enough. It wasn't lasting long enough. Red team, they are able to take the second dragon for themselves with the interference that York provided in that base. Unfortunately for the blue team, without ham sandwiches, there's not a lot they can do in a 4v5 situation. They have a great chance of winning because of the fact that Piglet is 6-1 and 2, but you also have to consider the fact that Corki is just as fed. If Piglet can pick up at least a kill onto the Corki, they have a really great chance. But they also have to watch out for the Zingy, who is so strong as well. He has the Landries, and he also has the Void Staff. He'll be in that back line, and with that blue buff, he should have no problem just throwing out spells whenever he wants, trying to poke someone down, and when they get low enough, throw out the Disintegration Ray, and force them either out of the fight or even pick up a kill. Right now, 2 Kindle Jumps. Well, not even need to talk about that. There's 2 Kindle Jumps by Leona, giving her some health and cooldown reduction. Meanwhile, York's actually picked up a Frozen Heart instead of completing a Maw of Malmortius. There's not a lot of magic damage that he has to deal with. Nightblue, he has been caught out. Mr. Steel Buffs with the Deceive, putting him in a very bad spot, and is gonna die. The Zenith Blade is gonna be used. Janna does have the Storm to put onto him, and the Exhaust actually. Deceive will be used, and he was in a bad situation, but he did get out of it. Now we're just gonna be pushing down that. This is your bus going back. He will be picking up a nice item, and looks as though Leona has been caught up by Inverted Composer. There's a death mark on to him. There's the knockup as well. Piglet's not going to be doing enough damage. Living Shadow was used. He's trying to get away. The vision is on him. Inverted Composer. Oh my god. Missile Barrage by Corki. Sniping a kill onto Piglet. We actually do have a surrender vote coming out. It doesn't look as though blue team has the will to fight anymore. That was really unfortunate for them. Ham Sandwiches leaving after that moment, but stuff happens. If you enjoyed the cast, please like, subscribe, and follow me on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And I hope you guys have a great day. I will be putting at least one video out every day. So, hope you guys have a great night.